Hello, you guys. Okay, today I want you to think back into the story and see if you can remember all of the steps of how to get your monster to go to bed. There's 6 steps, so let's take it one at a time. Before I open the page to the first step, I want you to try hard, think back in your head. What was the first step to get your monster to bed? You think about it while I find the page. Okay, what was that first step? The first step is to get your monster that big glass of bug juice, right? Okay, there's step 1. So step 1, get your monster some bug juice. Think about step 2. What is step 2? Make your guess before I turn the page. If you haven't guessed yet, pause the video. Step 2 is the ice bath, right? Get your monster in the bath and give him a nice, refreshing, freezing ice bath. Okay, think about step 3. Here we go. Did you say that step 3 was brushing and flossing your monster's teeth? That's step 3. Okay, now you're trying to remember step 4. Okay, before I turn the page, think about it. What was step 4? What came next? Getting your monster stuffed animals or stuffed monsters, right? He needs his favorite one, and the others go in your parents' bed. What was step 5? Step 5. Did you say reading your monster a story? That's step 5. There's one last step. Think about your last step before I turn the page. Your last step is to sing to your monster to put him to sleep. Sing to your monster. All right, that's all 6 steps, you guys. So, let's move on to our monster drawing. We're going to do a drawing today. I just told you, that it's of a monster. Here's the start of your monster. Find this page, and then I'll show you how to draw the rest. Alrighty, here we go. The first thing that we need to do is draw 2 rectangles at the top. We're going to start the monster's ears, I guess they are. So I'll show you what that looks like. There's one rectangle on this side. And there's another rectangle over on this side. Draw your monster's 2 rectangles for his ears. Okay? Next, we draw the rest of his ears, and it's kind of like, here, I'll show you. It's like a curvy shape. So I'm going to make it go out a little bit from that rectangle, and I'm going to curve it up and around like a big gumdrop. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to go out, up, and around. Oh, it says it's the monster's horns. So I guess they're not ears, they're horns. The next thing we need to draw are the eyes. So take your pencil. I'm going to draw them toward the top. 2 pretty good size eyes. Not super small, but also not huge. And I'm going to draw these little lines that make him have some expression on his face on the outside. They're kind of like his eyelids. All right. Now what you should do, I would leave this white for now on the inside of your eye, but when you go to color your monster, you can color it so that he has black eyes. Okay, so when you get your crayons out or your colored pencils, whatever you're gonna color with, you can color in that black You just don't want to color it in with a pencil. That doesn't look quite as nice. So wait to color it until you get your crayons or your colored pencils. Or your markers, whatever you're coloring with. Next thing we'll draw is the mouth. His mouth is kind of sideways. It looks like this. I'm gonna do like, it's almost like a V, except a really long line on this side, and then it curves up over on that side. And then the top of the mouth goes around, and I'm gonna make it curve all the way down to over here. And there we go. So there's the monster's mouth. Next, we'll add some teeth. I'm gonna add 3 rectangles, kind of curvy rectangles. They don't have super sharp corners. There's his teeth. Next, I'll draw the fur. Always remember, if I'm going too fast, pause the video and catch up. Okay, you have all the time you need. Next, I'll draw some fur. So the fur is just little wavy lines. So there's his ears, the fur on his ears. My pen kind of smudged a little bit. And then we're gonna do 3 rows of fur on his body. So I'll start one here, wavy lines all the way across. I'll do another one here. My waves should be pretty small. And then a third one toward the bottom. Finally, I need to draw the fur details. So that's just kind of like little squiggly marks all over his body. It helps you to see the texture of the fur. See how I'm just kind of drawing squigglies all over? And I'm not doing them all in a row. I'm just kind of putting them everywhere. They're very random squigglies. I don't want them all to look like they're in a pattern, because fur isn't really a pattern. It's just kind of everywhere. Just trying to cover all the space. Okay. There's my fur. Last, I can color him. So if you want to see the color of, here's a big picture of him, the colors of the monster, if you would like to color this like the book does, you would need some yellow, purple, pink, dark green, maybe some blue, okay? But you do not have to color your monster those colors. You may choose to color your monster whatever color you want. However, before you color, I want you to get out this page here that says, if your monster won't go to bed. You know what I forgot to do is grab some scissors. That's okay. I think you all know how to cut this out by now. I want you to grab your own scissors and cut around the box. Cut around the box. I guess while you're cutting, I'll go grab my scissors and do it. Go ahead and keep cutting. All right. Okay, I'll put that to the side. So your name goes at the bottom. I'm gonna write Miss Moss. You should not write Miss Moss. You should write your own name. And what I want you to write on your little half sheet, if you're not ready, pause, but if you are ready, it says, if your monster won't go to bed, and what you're going to write is one of the key details of the story. Do you remember what key details are? We can look back at our poster, if I could find it. Key details are the important parts of the story. So the characters, the setting, and the events. You can choose if you want to talk about the characters, the setting, or one of the events. We don't have room to write all of the events, so you could choose to just write one. So I think that in my key detail here, I'm going to write about one of the events. The important events that are in the story are what we just reviewed. All of those steps, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3, all the way to number 6 of how to get your monster to go to bed. I'm going to write one of the steps. If you choose to write about an event in the story, one of the steps, I don't want you to pick the same step that I do. I'd like you to write your own step. I'm going to write about the ice bath. I don't want you to write about the ice bath. So I'll say, sorry, I had a hard time thinking of what to say. Give your monster an ice bath. Period. Uppercase letter, period, finger spaces. You can write one of the steps, or if you want to tell me who the characters were or what the setting was, you could do that too. I'm gonna glue. And now if you're to this step, you are ready to color. All right, so grab your crayons or whatever you'd like to use, color this, then you can come back. All right, before we move on, or before we're done, I have a couple more things I want to talk about. One of them is the word neighborhood. The word neighborhood is a group of people who live near each other. So if I look at my story, they use the word neighborhood right here. It says, sorry, a lot of stuff on my table here. You're so good. Everyone in your neighborhood will start asking you to help with their monsters. Everyone in your neighborhood. So again, a neighborhood is a group of people who live near each other. So pause the video for a minute and I want you to tell me about where you live. What kind of neighborhood do you live in? Maybe you live in Jack's Beach. Maybe your neighborhood is surrounded by other houses like yours. Maybe in your neighborhood, maybe you live in an apartment. In your neighborhood, you have a bunch of apartment places next to you. Okay? Maybe in your neighborhood, you have a park. Pause the video and tell me about your neighborhood, the group of people who live around you. Okay, here's the last thing that we have to do today, and that is our comprehension paper. I just had it. Where'd it go? Where'd you go? Here it is. Okay. We are going to read your comprehension paper, so grab this paper, then come back to the video. Your name goes at the top. Then we'll read. It says, I'm going to read it the first time. While I read it, you're pointing to the words, and you're just listening. Then we're going to read it 3 times. The first one will be me. The second one is both of us. And then you read on your own. And we'll color in the smiley face after each time we read. So starting at the top, put your finger under the first word. Ellie got a teddy bear for her 6th birthday. Aw, look at her teddy bear. She loved its fluffy brown fur. It had a big red bow around its neck, too. But what she loved most about her teddy bear was how it made her feel. At bedtime, she would snuggle up with him and feel so safe. She always drifted off to peaceful dreams when she had him. Okay, that's our first read. Color in your first smiley face. Number 2, we're gonna read together. Finger under the first word. I'll go a little slower this time. Ellie got a teddy bear for her 6th birthday. She loved its fluffy brown fur. It had a big red bow around its neck, too. But what she loved most about her teddy bear was how it made her feel. At bedtime, she would snuggle up with him and feel so safe. She always drifted off to peaceful dreams when she had him. All right, there's our second read. Color in your second smiley face. Now I'd like you to pause the video while you read for the 3rd time. All right, if you're still listening, that means that you have read for the 3rd time. Color in that 3rd smiley face, and then we'll read the questions. Question 1. When did Ellie get her bear? When did Ellie get her bear? Pause the video, go back on your own, see if you can underline where or when Ellie got her bear. Underline it with your pencil. Okay, pause the video if you don't have an answer yet or if you aren't done looking. I'm going to look in this first sentence that says, Ellie got a teddy bear for her 6th birthday. So when did Ellie get her bear? You should have underlined her 6th birthday. And we can write that answer right here. Her. I didn't use an uppercase letter because the word her, or the sentence her 6th birthday, isn't really a complete sentence. So I'm not going to use an uppercase letter or a period here. Her 6th birthday. When we write the word 6th and the number 6 with the TH to make the th sound, 6th, that TH kind of floats up in the air. You can see in the writing how they made it small and up toward the top of the number 6. So that's what I did here too. I made the letters smaller and I put them up at the top of the number 6. All right. Second question. Describe what the bear looked like. Go back on your own. See if you can find the answer to what the bear looked like. Pause this video to do that now. All right, so let me keep reading from where I left off. Describe what the bear looked like. Well, this sentence says, she loved its fluffy brown fur. Does that tell me something about what it looks like? It sure does. It tells me that he had fluffy brown fur. That's something that he looked like. So I could have wrote fluffy brown fur. There's even more about what it looked like. Listen to the next sentence. It had a big red bow around its neck too. So what else did this bear look like? What else do we know? He had a big red bow around its neck. That's something else that it looked like. I'm going to write fluffy brown fur. You could write that, or you could have written about the big red bow. Either answer is correct. Fluffy brown fur. Okay? Last, what was Ellie's favorite thing about her bear? Pause the video, go back to where we left off and keep reading to see if you can find and underline her favorite thing about her bear. Okay. I'm going to read the next sentence. Let's see if we can find it. But what she loved most about her teddy bear was how it made her feel. Okay, so what did she love? What was her favorite thing about her teddy bear? What did she love most? How it made her feel. How did it make her feel? Do you remember? The next sentence says at bedtime, she would snuggle up with him and feel so safe. So if you wrote something about how it made her feel or that she felt safe, either answer is correct. I will write, what was Ellie's favorite thing about her bear? How it made her feel. How it made her feel. Okie doke. Moving on. Actually, that's it. That's all. Happy Thursday. What's today? Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. All right, you guys, I'll see you back at math time. Good job.